Hey everyone, it's Kels at Scrapbook.com, and I'm here today to challenge you to create some type of a mini book, any kind of a mini book with any materials you have laying around your house that signifies your everyday. Capture those basic moments that you don't really think are significant or important and get them on paper, journal about them, highlight some photos, a week in the life, a day in the life, anything that suits you, just so that you can pull it out 5 years from now and remember it. It's a really fun challenge. I hope you'll join me. This challenge is so simple, you guys. I just encourage you to pick up any mini book you have in your stash. If not, definitely run out, grab one that speaks to you. Every mini book, as you know, on the market is a little bit different. I have a couple of examples here for you today. But really, this challenge is about capturing a day in the life or a week in the life or your everyday. So be thinking about some journaling prompts like meals you make or eat, recipes you love, chores you do, maybe your drive to or from work or the kind of car you drive and why. Perhaps you have kids or a school routine that you have to tend to daily. You have social activities and time spent on social networks. Perhaps you have a job or a hobby or both, like scrapbooking. And you might have special events on your calendar, downtime with your significant other. You might be really into clothes and fashion and hairstyle, your shoes, your makeup, your eyewear. Maybe there's a certain genre of music you like, or maybe you like many. Tell us why. Think about where you shop, whether it's online, whether you go to brick and mortar retailers, if you have a favorite line that you love, a favorite manufacturer, a favorite brand. Maybe you love Anthropologie clothing. And just be free. Let your ideas flow. I'm going to show you a couple of examples in these great little mini books here today. I'll talk a little bit about the book and the materials itself, and I'll talk a lot about the challenge and just the prompts and the things that you can introduce into your books. So we'll start with this one. This is a K & Company Smashbook, and I have done just a quick title here with some random alphabet letters from my stash. This pattern paper actually came from inside the Smashbook. I just ripped out one of the pages and decided to use it to complement my cover. And I used a few Smash accessories like these journaling cards and the clips. And then I dug really deep in my stash to find some fun, really 3D embellishments. You can see how far those stick up off of my book. Smash books from K & Company are really fun because you get the entire book and all of the sheets of paper in it. They do have the fun additional accessories you can purchase separately, and they come with this great pen. There's glue on one side of this pen and just a black tip on the other. That's great for journaling. When you open it up, I just went ahead and put a pocket here, but again, I haven't really completed this book. It's definitely going to be a work in progress for me. And I'm going to try and capture my daily memories. But you can just add stuff. It's fun to just put stuff in with washi tape. These can be notes to self, inspirational bits. I started my first page with my probably most obvious obsession, which is coffee. I absolutely love coffee, and I told the whole story about how I even came to enjoy coffee, growing up in coffee culture in Seattle, and just fun details about how I even got into coffee. And I paired it with a photo of my Starbucks Verismo machine and my cute little owl, which holds all my coffee pods. But you can see this is just an everyday thing about me that most people may not know about. I also did a page about my daughter and her shoes, and I journaled about the fun memory. It's maybe not so fun for me, but I'm sure that she has a wonderful time. Every morning when we get in the car, she takes off her shoes. Doesn't matter what pair of shoes she has on, she does not like to wear them in the car. So I journaled and I told a story about that, and hopefully she will enjoy reading it when she's a little bit older and we'll all have a good laugh. I also did a page. Again, for me, journaling is really important. Telling the story is really important. I did a page about what I do for a living, where I work, why I work there, what I enjoy about it. A little bit of insight into me that someone reading this scrapbook may not realize. And 10 years from now, I can look back, and whether I'm still at Scrapbook.com or not, I'll remember what it was like to work there. And this is a page about our cat. He's obviously a pretty significant part of the family, part of my everyday, and I wrote down the top 10 things that I adore about him, and he literally does them every day. So it's kind of a fun memory. And someday when he's gone, I'll be able to look back and remember what life was like with him. And the last page that I've completed in this mini book so far is just about my husband and my daughter and the everyday life that we have. We sit on the couch a lot. We hang out. My husband and I both work full time. We're tired when we get home. My daughter has a pretty early bedtime, so she gets a little bit of snuggle time with me and her dad before she goes to bed, and we just cherish those moments. In a second example of celebrating your everyday, you can do a much smaller scale album. And again, you can just fill it with small bits and pieces. And one of our staff members created this, and she was able to get just a ton of photos in here, which is so great. I did a larger mini book style, so I chose larger photos. With the smaller book, she decided to go really small on the photos. But she got a ton of them in here. She got a ton of great journaling down. She does a lot of Instagramming, and so she took many of her Instagram photos, which she ordinarily may or may not scrapbook, and she was able to include those everyday snaps in a great little mini about what her routine is like, how her kids do karate, they go to class, they have dinner together as a family, they watch a little TV, and then the kids head to bed. So you can see, even in a very small book, she's able to get a ton of journaling and a ton of photos done. This doesn't need to take a lot of time, but you'll be amazed. The more memories you can get on paper about your everyday life and the real substance of who you are and who your family members are and how you all spend your time together is well worth the effort.